In today's session, basically, I'm going to talk about the CAT exam itself. Uh, we'll discuss about what is required to be done, how should we plan the preparation, and we'll answer all your doubts. Okay, and after that, if we have time, we'll start off with some of the basic stuff. Right? Okay. So first of all, I was talking to Aklesha yesterday, and I was telling her about the basics of CAT exam. Now, as you know, and just for my understanding, so Bhavisha, are you also targeting the other ones like IFT, ZAT, SNAP, and others?
Uh, yes, I am targeting that.
Sorry, can you be a little louder?
Yes, sir, I am targeting those exams as well.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because some of these exams are a little different from CAT in terms of the content and the type of questions, right? So
Mhm.
we'll cover all of these, but let me give you a idea of CAT first. Okay. So as we know that it's an exam which is conducted on the last Sunday of November every year, right? And the registrations or the applications start from somewhere around August, right? Now, this exam has three parts: the verbal reasoning and reading comprehension, and then we have LIDR, which is logical data interpretation and logical reasoning, right? DILR, data interpretation and logical reasoning, and the third section is quants or quantitative ability, right? The first one has 34 questions, the second one has 32 questions, and the third one has 34 questions. So there are a total of 100 questions, right? And each questions carry plus 3 marks and minus 1. Now this minus 1 is there for almost, I would say, 85 to 90% of the questions. But there are some questions where there are no negative, and each of the sections have those. So, like here, there are 5, 6 of them. Here also there are 5, 6. So, in total, there are about 15 to 18 questions which are not having any negative marking. Right now, uh, what do you think is a good score in CAT? When I say good score, I'm talking about 99 percentile plus.
So
I
I
guess
think
160 above.
So roughly it is around 150 plus. So it varies from year to year, but around 150 to 160 is the range. Okay. So which means that we are talking about exactly 50% of the total marks, right? We are talking about exactly 50% of the total marks. Now, if you score somewhere around this range, 150 plus, you have a very good chance of getting calls from all the IMs. Okay, and this 50% means that we are talking about getting 50 questions right, right? Now, this is uh, only part of the story, and there is a larger part of the story which I'm going to come to. But this is one part of the story, right? Now, what does this tell you? What does this tell you?
that we should not go for the speed.
Yes. See, the level of difficulty in CAT uh, is basically because of the time constraint, nothing else. If you look at any CAT paper, for example, and you sit down with ample time, I'm sure you'll be able to crack most of the questions, if not all, right? The difficulty is because of the time constraint. Now, in the current pattern, the most difficult section is DILR because typically there are 8 puzzles and each puzzle has 4 questions. So there are 32 questions. And we'll talk about this section later. Uh, the next one is quants, and English is supposed to be relatively easier, right? Now, which means that you just have to make sure that you attempt around 60 and get around 50 to 55 correct, around 55 correct. So if you do this, then your score automatically comes out to be 160. 55 into 3 is 165, and since you get 5 wrong, so minus 5, that is 160, right? This is good enough for any IIM call, all the IIM calls, right? Now, why I'm saying this is because there are a lot many experts and coaching centers and a lot many people who tell you to go for speed, do this, do that. Now, believe me, when you sit for this kind of an exam, you really don't have time to think about shortcuts and all that. Though we are going to cover all of that, but my suggestion is keep this in mind. So there is a psychological difference when you're sitting for an exam and you're thinking of attempting 75 plus, and when you're thinking of attempting around 60. Huge psychological difference, right? So when you're trying to attempt 60, which means you have 20 questions per hour, that means you have 3 minutes per question. And if you go beyond this, automatically your time per question comes to around 2 minutes, which makes a huge difference, right? So, so how do we go about making sure that we get 60 correct? So we'll talk about that. Okay. Next thing that I would like to tell you is CAT score is not the only criteria for a GDPI call, right? So typically, and this varies from IIMs to IIMs, but I'm just giving you a range, and I'll share with you more details on this. I'll send you detailed scorecards of the IIMs, but more or less, it is the CAT score uh, weightage is around 30 to 40%. Some IIMs go to 60%, but most of them are between 30 to 40%. And the rest is based on your class 10, 12, graduation plus WorkX. And for female candidates, there is also a diversity score. Okay, so these make up a substantial percentage of the a substantial weightage of the total percent at the GDPI level. And after the GDPI level, in the final evaluation, 50% is from GDPI and 25% is from CAT score, and the rest 25% is all of this. So this is the final scoring sheet. Okay. So have you guys tried any of the CAT papers yet?
Yes, sir, I have
Hello.
given the previous one.
Can you speak a little louder?
I have never tried.
I have given this previous one, 2019.
Okay. One correction. You don't give tests. You take tests.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you took the 2019 CAT paper, right?
Right.
Uh, did you do it at one go, or did you take stops in between?
Mm, can you explain? I don't know what you're asking. I can't.
I can hardly hear you.
Hello.
Can you just be a little closer to the mic?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm not able to understand what you're saying.
So what I'm saying is, did you did you take the CAT 2019 paper?
Ye- yes.
Okay. Did you do it in one shot, or did you take breaks?
Uh, I didn't took any break or so. I just gave it in one shot.
Okay. Um, how much was your score?
Uh, like raw score is not given in the cat, I guess. So uh, the score which was given was around 75 or so, and 80 percentile I
Okay.
got overall.
Okay. Great. So see, without any preparation, you are at 80 percentile, right? And let's talk numbers. So you have scored 75, right? And what is our
Right.
target? 150, right? So we have to just work towards bridging this 75, right?
Right.
Okay. So, so the first, okay, Klesha, did you take any CAT paper yet?
No, I have never given. Hello.
Klesha, can you
Hello,
hear
am
me?
I not audible? Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah. Did you take any CAT paper yet?
No, I have never taken any.
Okay. So, what I would suggest is, I will give you some tips today, but what I would suggest is, take any CAT paper, preferably 2019. Okay, 2019. There are two slots. You can take any one. 2019 CAT paper. Uh, don't look at the watch. Okay, no timer, no timing. Okay, try and answer all the questions, as many questions as you can, as many as you can. Okay, do this as an exercise, because I want to understand uh, where you are right now. What are your difficulty levels? What are your you know problem areas, so that we can work out a strategy for those things, right? So would you be able to do this by this weekend?
Yes, yes, sure. I'll do this by this weekend.
Okay. So just answer as many questions as you can. Take your time, and then we'll discuss about it. Okay. So this is step number
Okay.
one. Now, uh, so in terms of the preparation strategy, the first thing that we need to do is to understand your current um, current level of speed and accuracy. Okay, that I'm not very concerned about the speed, because as I said, accuracy is more important. Okay, so that's why I said don't going for timing. Try and get as many correct as you can. Okay, we'll pick up the speed as we go along. That this is not a big deal. This is a big deal. Okay. Number two is to identify areas which needs to be revised and areas that needs to be need to be strengthened. Now, what do I mean by this? What do I mean by this?
These are the areas where we might have command over some topics,
Correct.
and some might be our weak points also. So we have
Absolutely correct.
to
Absolutely
strengthen
correct.
those.
So all of us, when we start preparing for the exam, because we've been out of touch for quite some time, we will see that we have forgotten certain things, and though they are very easy, but we just need to brush up. So those are the areas that needs to be revised, and we will also see that there are some areas which we remember very strongly, and we are able to um, do it quite well. So for those areas, we need to further sharpen them up. So these two we will do simultaneously when we from tomorrow when we start the classes. Okay. Number three, to progressively increase the scores. Now, how do we do this? What is your idea?
By practicing more.
Yeah, definitely practice, but that practice needs to have a very scientific pattern,
By
right?
giving mock test.
We'll come to mock test, yes. So what we will do is it goes like this. Number one, take one CAD paper and note down three things. Number one, don't, as I said, don't look at the watch, but after you have finished, note down the time taken for each section, because each of the sections are timed for 1 hour each in the exam. So note down the time that you take for each of the sections. Number two, note down questions that you are not able to crack or not able to solve. Okay. And third, out of the questions that you've attempted, which are the questions that you've marked wrong? Now, why am I telling you to do this?
Uh, to to understand where we stand right now.
Yeah, because and when I say we need to understand where you stand, uh, as I mentioned, I'm trying to see the speed as well as the accuracy, right? Both. So when I say time taken, that means it'll give me a fair idea of how much, which section is consuming more time for you, right? So this will tell me section wise time pattern, and then we'll work on that. Okay? Uh, this one will tell me uh, areas that needs to be revised, plus there might be certain things that you might not know as well, plus new things. And this might happen because of two things. One is you got the question wrong, or you went wrong in the calculation or the logic. So this I want to understand how many questions you have marked wrong because of wrong calculations or wrong logic, and how many went wrong because you did not get the question, or um, you did not understand the question at all. Understanding, right?
Right.
So this would be our starting point. This would be the baseline with which we'll start. Now, after that, what will we do? So after that, step 2 is we are going to focus on the revision part, the new things, and the mistakes. Okay, all of this understanding. So we will discuss all these things. I would put it together as difficulties and ways to improve them. Okay, so that means there will be uh, dedicated sessions around those things. Okay, and you will not touch any paper till the time that we are doing this. So as we do this, what we will do is we will go through the concepts plus shortcut tricks and tips and tricks, plus questions. Okay, section wise. Number 3, after we have done one round of this, you will again take one CAT paper, and this time with timing, and we'll do the same thing. Okay, so then we will know exactly what is the impact of this step here.
Right, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
are you able to get it, what I'm trying to do?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then after we do this, we will repeat step 2 again, but this time focusing more on the areas that still need sharpening. Okay, after this we will start going through section wise exercises, not mock test. Mock test will come later. Okay, section wise exercises to see whether this is improving your speed and accuracy, section wise. And then step number 6 would be section wise mock tests, 2 each. Okay, and then we will get into the actual full paper, full mock test. Okay, so this would be the overall plan. Any questions on this? Questions, suggestions, anything?
Nothing as of now.
Looks good, sir.
Anything that you feel can be incorporated or changed or anything? And one thing is that I'm flexible in terms of the schedule. This is the overall schedule. Okay, this we will. This is April, so for the next 6 months, this will be the course of action. Okay, so there are certain steps which will take a lot of time, like step 2, step 4, right? These will take quite some time, and this would be a continuous process. Iterations will follow. If needed, we'll need to do one more here, and so on. So this will be an iterative process, right? And after that, once you go to the exam in November, we will start GDPI sessions. Okay, we'll start GDPI
Right.
sessions, and along with that, I'll also guide you on how to fill in your application form. There are a lot of questions there which we'll talk about. Okay, so this is the overall preparation plan and strategy for the next 6 months, or I would say next 1 year, because it will include GDPI as well, right?
Right.
Okay, now since we have some time left, we will start off with a few basic things. Okay, you have all done subtraction in your life, right?
Yes.
Right, sir.
So I will give a small subtraction. Tell me the answer. Okay. Tell me the answer.
53. 43.
Sorry?
43.
43. Okay, great. Next one. Sorry?
59. 59.
59.
59. Great. Next one.
Two six eight 2687.
Come again?
2687.
2687.
87.
Okay. Now we go into a little bigger numbers. Tell me this one.
Okay. 45038262.
Yes.
4, 5.
45038262.
038262.
Okay. It took you a good 10 seconds to do this, right?
Yeah, but I took pen and paper.
Sorry?
I took pen and paper. I think that is not allowed.
No. Pen and paper will do. That's fine. You can do it with pen and paper. No issues. But you did it the traditional way, right? So 4 minus 2 is 2, 3 minus 7 means cancel 5, right? 4, get 1, 6. You did this, right?
Right.
Okay. So there is an easier way, especially when you are dealing with big numbers. 7, 4, 6, 2, 1, 5, 3, 4. 2, 9, 5, 8, 3, 2, 7, 2. Now, when you're dealing with big numbers, the easiest way of doing it is just subtract each number column wise. So 7 minus 2 is 5,
5.
right? 4 minus 9 is what?
Minus 5.
Minus 5. Minus 5.
Sorry?
Minus 5.
Is it 5 or minus 5?
Minus 5.
Minus 5.
So in place of minus 5, I'll write a 5 bar. Okay?
Okay.
6 minus 5 is 1. 2 minus 8 is
Minus 6.
minus 6. So I'll write a 6
bar,
bar.
I guess.
1 minus 3 is
2 bar.
5 minus 2 is
3.
3 minus 7 is
4. I mean 4 bar. Sorry.
and 4 minus 2 is 2, right? Now why did I do this? I did this because I wanted to avoid all this cutting and bringing in all that, right? So this is a much cleaner method because it's very easy to calculate any large number like this in a matter of seconds. So this is the first step that I did. In the second step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the left, and I'm going to see where are my bars. So wherever there is a bar, I will subtract that number from 10, okay, and I will reduce the previous number by 1. So 5 bar means 5, and I reduce 5 by 1, which is 4. Okay,
Okay.
6 bar is what?
4. 4.
4. What will come before that?
0.
Sorry?
0. 0.
0.
0. 2 bar will be what?
8.
8. So 4 will become
3.
3. 4 bar is
6.
6.
3 will become
2.
2.
and 2. Right? So this is a very effective method when you are dealing with large numbers. Okay, and many a times you will have to do with recurring decimals like that 1 2 5 6 7 8 3 2, and then minus 0.56913581. So like this. So the rule remains the same regardless of whether you have a decimal or not,
Yep.
right? So this is a very easy method, which you just need to practice one or two times. That's it. So it will come automatically. Okay. Now let us get into multiplication. So tell me what would be 92 into 97?
Eight, 9, 3, 4.
8934. All of you got that?
Sorry, 2, 4.
8924.
Yeah.
8924.
2, 4. 2, 4. I wrote something wrong.
8924, right?
Yeah.
Everyone got that?
Yes.
Aklesha,
Yes, sir. Yes.
you got that?
Yes.
Everyone got this, huh? Okay. Let us see how to do this quickly. So 92 and 97. Okay. So how far is 92 from 100?
8
Minus 8. How far is 97 from 100?
minus 3.
Minus 3. Now you just add these two. 92 minus 3 is 95. Sorry, 89.
No, 89.
And 97 minus 8 is 89. Right? And you multiply these two. Minus 8 into minus 3, which is 24.
24.
Got the logic?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Every time will that come
What
89?
was the difference in
Will that
not
be equal every time?
Yeah. So the logic is that whether you add minus 3 to 92, you get 89. Whether you add
Yeah.
minus 8 to 97, you get 89. So either way, you can just look at one of them and write the answer
okay.
straight away and multiply the rest of it, write the answer straight away. Right?
Okay.
Okay, let us take another example. 88
Yeah, that,
into 94.
this is easy. 8 to 7 2. I mean, I just did it.
Sorry?
8 to 7 to
This is 8 to
So this is minus 12 from 100. This is minus 6, right?
yes.
So 82.
yeah.
And 12 into 6 is 72. So this is my answer. Okay. So these are cases where your numbers are close to 100. Okay. And it works if the numbers are greater than 100 also. So let's say 105 into 109. So 105 is plus 5 from 100.
Yeah.
109 is plus 9 from 100. Right. So whether you add these two or you add these two, you'll get 114.
4,
Right.
4, 1, 4, 5. Yeah.
And 5 into 9 is 45.
45.
Right. So this is how you can quickly calculate numbers, product of numbers which are close to 100. And what happens if one of my numbers is greater than 100, the other one is less than 100? Then what happens? Same logic, right? So this is
It
plus
will
8,
remain same. Yes.
this is minus 7, right?
1, 0, 0, 4, 4.
And I add this or this, any one, so 101,
7.
and I have a minus 56 here. So how do I do this?
We will do the subtraction logic.
Sorry? I have a minus 56. So how do I manage this minus 56?
We'll be subtracting that from 100.
I cannot write 56 here, right?
We'll subtract from 100.
So what I'll do is I'll write two zeros and I'll subtract 56. So 10044. Got it?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, got it.
Yes, sir.
So these are cases when the numbers are close to 100. Okay? When the numbers are close to 100, either on the negative side or on the positive side. Okay? Now, what if the numbers are not close to 100? What if the numbers are anything? Let's say 38 into 76. How do I do this? So, this is the trick to multiply any numbers, be it 2 digit, 3 digit, 5 digit, n digit, anything, which is like this. So, first multiply these two. How much is 7 into 3?
21.
21. Next, multiply this and add them. So 7 into 8 is how much?
56.
56.
7 into 8 is
56.
56.
6 and 18.
56. 3 into 6 is
18.
18. So 56 plus 18 is
74.
74.
74. So I will write 74 like this. Okay? And last step, multiply 8 into 6, which is
48.
48. I will write it like this. Okay? And I just add the two numbers. So 8, 8,
Yeah.
8, 2. Did you get what I did?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the logic?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me repeat this. 38 into 76. Step 1 is very simple. Just multiply the extreme left numbers. So 7 into 3 is 21. Just write 21. Step 2 is cross multiply these two. So 7 into 8 is 56 plus 18 is 74. So write 74 in this way. And last step is multiply the extreme two right numbers, which is 48. So write 48 like this and just add the two numbers. 8, 8, 8, 2. Right? Let us talk about 3-digit numbers. 176 into 893. How do I do this? Tell me the steps. Step 1,
First of
everyone
all,
should be able to say.
1, 7, 8, and 9.
Step 1 is 8
First
into
step
1,
would be
right?
8 into 1.
8.
Yes.
Correct? What is step 2?
9 into 56.
What is step 2?
9 plus 56.
9. plus 56.
Step 2 is this, right? 8 sevens are
56.
56.
56 and 9 1
Is 9.
9. So what is 56 plus 9?
65.
Sorry,
65.
65, right? Next step, 8 into 6, 1 into 3 and 7 into 9. So 8 into 6 is 48
48.
48.
plus 3 into 1 is 3, which is
3.
51. 51 and 63. How much is that?
104.
114.
114. How will I write this? 114. Okay. Next step, 9 into 6, 7 into 3. 9 6 are 54 and 7 3 are 21. So that is
75.
75, right? And last step is 6 into 3, which is 18.
18.
And we add all of this. So 8, 6, 1. I carry 1, so I had 11 here. 11 plus 1, 12, plus 5, 17. And 1 here, so 15.
15.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
See, the reason why I'm doing this is, logic is simple. See, if I do it 176 into 893, what will I do? 3 6 are 8, 3 7 are 21, 22, and 5, and then I do the next one, 54, 63, and 5 68, 6, 9 6 are 15, and then the last one, 48, 56 plus 4, 60, and 14, right? So then I have to start adding up all of this, right? 21, 7, 5, 1. So I had to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 steps. Here I am doing only 2 steps. The first step is this, and the second step is this, right? So this is one very important trick that you have to really master, because it will save you a lot of time in calculation. Lot of time. And as you know that in both DILR questions as well as in quants, definitely you will have to encounter multiplication multiple times, right? Of course, there will be a on-screen calculator, but believe me, using that will consume more time than doing this. You can check it out yourself using the calculator, right? Because this is the first time, so it is taking a little bit of time, but once you practice a couple of them, you'll be able to do it in no time.